Welcome back to the Stoop Football fans. It's your boy Lolo, and I'm back a late night edition. Well, 6 p.m. our time, late night in the UK. But the last match of the Boxing Day weekend match week sort of thing is over. And boy, what a thriller we had if you're a Newcastle fan or just a fan of football, so you hate Man United. We all are enjoying watching them continue to look like a bunch of spoiled brats running around with chickens with their heads cut off and all yelling at each other. It's like another little Christmas gift that happened just a couple days after Christmas. Why don't you watch $1 billion run around on a pitch and not be able to do anything? And which just makes me even happier for my club, Arsenal, winning 5-0 against Norwich, and everybody's going, "That's just Norwich." And I'm like, look at Manchester United. They struggled against Norwich. They got 1 goal on a penalty. Look at them today. They look bad. But first and foremost, I want to say hi to everybody in the house already, Stoop crew members. I think I've seen Ben Ireland, Mr. Tom, Jimmy, Adriano, Lil Najee's in there. You're still not a Stoop crew member, Lil Najee. You need to tell your dad, get his wallet out. Swipe a little thing. There you go. Mo Master, good to see you as well. Director John is here, as always, helping out behind the scenes, unless we mess up, and then he will be back in front of the scenes. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. And let me go ahead and introduce my lovely co-host, the most beautiful one on the stoop, Mr. Mark. Get in here. How are you going?
I'm good, man. How about you guys? How's everybody?
I'm good,
everybody
man.
In the
I'm
household.
looking fly.
You are looking fly. What? How much glue did you use?
It's glitter glue nail polish, man. I got
glitter glue nail polish.
Daughters.
I thought they canceled that. They discontinued it when people's fingernails were falling off.
You tell me this now?
He's like speechless.
It's like, isn't this just a gift you gave to my daughter too?
Oh shit!
No, you get her like books and stuff. You get her proper.
So, but it came. Gift. It came. It arrived. The package.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know. Did you send something?
I did, and I paid to have it arriving on Christmas Eve. And when I try to track it, it won't let me. So maybe this company just up and took my money. I don't know.
All right.
On a personal level, but now back to the show.
Well, good to see you, Mark. It was a fun day of football yesterday. And I got to say, Leeds United fans have to take it as a win. That once again, anytime we are saying good things about matches being postponed, just know we are not talking good that anybody got COVID. All right. So relax.
Well, absolutely. But you know,
a depleted team
tough.
Like Leeds United, and if you ask Najee, Chelsea as well, depleted teams like this, they could use the time off, I would say, and especially
but I
coming up against Liverpool.
Sure, but I also think it's a case of that when those matches are made up, like Wolves are going to have to play 2 extra matches right now, or heading into the second half of the season. They're not built for that. They're a small squad. They're not built for the extra matches. So especially with the League of Nations, that little tiny tournament that's coming up here pretty soon.
The Africa Cup of Nations, not the
whatever
League
it's
of
called.
Nations.
It's so little that Pep Guardiola has taught me that I don't even need to bother.
Jurgen Klopp. Mark, get your facts together. Speaking of facts, you know him, you love him. The heel of the stoop. Let's bring him in. Mr. Najee, get your funky ass in here. How you doing, Najee? Good to see you, man. I like that hat.
Good, guys. You?
We're doing good, man. Happy holidays. Whatever. I'm not sure if you celebrate any holidays around now, but you live in New York, so I know you enjoy the little bit of time off as well.
Yeah, happy holidays to everybody. I'm so glad there is a Chelsea fan watching today. I'm so glad there's at least one Chelsea fan with me today.
Who?
Lil Najee.
Little Najee?
No. He just said, bro, Najee. That's my stoop hat.
Wow.
I love that he just called you bro. Like
and used your name.
He wouldn't say it to your face, but he knows on the stoop he's got to represent. He's got to act hard. Najee, go put your Leeds United kit on.
He's like pressing iron.
I can hear him in the background. He's yelling at you, Najee. That's my hat. Give me my hat. Anyway, so today, why don't we go ahead and talk about it? We're going to talk about all the matches that happened today. And guys, if you're in the audience watching right now, make sure you hit that like button and hit the share button. Just share it on your Facebook page right now, or your MySpace, or your Reddit, whatever you do, or whatever back channels Mr. Tom is on. Get all the people in the dungeons to watch the show if they can. Let's get people here and let's get talking football. Let's start with Manchester United drawing 1-1 against Newcastle United. And I got to say, the better team was Newcastle United for the entire time.
Yeah,
they missed opportunities. They dropped two of their best players, their figureheads. Didn't make it full 90, but Callum Wilson was even way less than that. He couldn't make it the full 45.
Yeah.
That's a huge loss for them, especially on a day that, Eddie Howe might have figured something out. Eddie Howe might have figured out that Joel Linton isn't a number 9.
Yeah.
Maybe he's more of a number 10. Maybe he's even like a number 8 or a 6, because the defensive work Joel Linton was doing today.
Yes.
And he was pumped up. I usually don't like him because he's a bit of a whiny prick because he's not getting the ball. He's not getting any service. And today it looked like Eddie Howe might have figured something out. What do you guys think? Was this a terrible Man United performance or a really inspired Newcastle United performance?
Najee, what do you got for us?
Let me say one thing. This is what Newcastle United do. They drew with Norwich 1-1. They were up most of the game, and then all of a sudden, Norwich scores, and we all thought that when Man United scored that equalizer, that they're gonna go on to win it. Yeah. But it was a really poor performance by United. They had 16 days off. There's a new manager. There's a new system. The balance of the team was not right. He's playing with a 4-2-2-2 as if, I'm the new smart guy here in the Premier League. The pressing was bad. There was no
classic 4-2-2-2 setup. Najee, you're the stats guy. Mark and I don't know shit about the history of anything. When was the last time a 4-2-2-2 was implemented, and did it work?
Right. They were not fighting at all for each other's.
See, he doesn't even answer the question because he knows how he's trying to reinvent things, and have a super wide. Who was up top for them, Najee? Who was it? Was it Ronaldo and
Ronaldo and Greenwood. Ronaldo and Greenwood. Yeah, and he wants to play that way so that he could press. And I didn't see any Man United player pressing. They didn't matter. This game didn't matter for them. And you know what? They scored a goal against Norwich and a goal against Newcastle. These two teams are bottom of the league right now.
Yep. And you could say that Newcastle match, that Norwich match and the Newcastle match, they struggled. It's not like they got unlucky and the keeper had an incredible game and that's the reason. They just look bad all over the pitch.
Right.
There you go, Adriano. Thank you for that stat. He says in Rome at the Colosseum, circa 2 or 300 AD, the 4-2-2-2 was in vogue. Yeah, it was. I think Spartacus played up top, right next to
Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius.
They only had one good performance so far. 45 minutes. The first 45 minutes they had against Crystal Palace. That first game with Draknik in charge. And then, man, they struggle in the second half. They struggle against Young Boys. They struggle against Norwich. Now it's a bad result too. So let's see what's going to happen, I might give him a few more weeks before I got on his back.
Well, listen, I said in the weekend watch list, two teams kind of have me a little irked right now where I just don't know who they are. And that's Manchester United and Tottenham. And I think Manchester United, as much as we could say, this was a particularly poor performance, I think we're seeing the real Manchester United. I think we're seeing that Harry Maguire is not the same Harry Maguire that plays for England.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't think
bad.
he hasn't been the same since his injury and when he took some time off of that. And, you know, I'm not really sure. Maybe it's a case that he just doesn't fit well into this new system since Ali has been.
I don't think they have a system.
I don't think so either. I'm not really sure what's going on, but wow, they were disappointing today.
Yeah.
And Newcastle looked good. It's unfortunately that they will lose Wilson, and it looks like they might lose Maximin as well, which are huge blows.
At least he walked off, so we'll see. But at the very least, he walked off.
Guys.
I mean, if anything, we're running into another break. So, it's one more match. They'll probably both miss that. And then there'll be a little bit of time off to recover and get a little more fit. But Newcastle looked very, very well. They played with a lot of a lot of emotion, a lot of passion, a lot of purpose. The exact opposite of what United played with today. They just all that money and no results.
Newcastle are running into the January transfer window. That's what they're running to. They don't even care who gets injured right now. They're replacing him in a beat right now. There's a lot of players that are, let's say, Soul from Bayern. He's a very good defender. Bayern doesn't want to, renew his contract right now. You also got Romagnoli from AC Milan. Is also a central defender. They need defenders right now. That's the most important thing. And then they could get a Coutinho easily from Barcelona because Barca need to sell. They could get Ciro Immobile from Lazio. We know he scores a lot of goals for Lazio, not for the international team.
Yeah, and he doesn't care about being on the biggest name club. Clearly, he's been at Lazio forever.
Yeah, he's the captain there.
But my question is who wants to come to a team that's going to be relegated?
Do you think they're going to get relegated?
Look,
absolutely.
But the other option there, Mark, is who wants to come to a team and be the savior? If Immobile comes in and all of a sudden he scores 20 goals and he's up for a golden boot and he's only been there half the year and they're just not relegated, he becomes a god at Newcastle. So there's that.
Sure. There are all those things, but
you're right.
There's what, this huge, beautiful fantasy scenario for Newcastle. But there's the reality of what's happening at the bottom of the table. Norwich is 1 point behind them and has a game in hand. Newcastle has played every single match this season. Burnley above them has 4 games in hand, and Watford has 3. That's the uphill battle. So they already have an uphill battle to get out of relegation. Meanwhile, everyone around them have games in hand. Mm-hmm. And it's going to fuck them in the end.
Yeah, no. The thing, and Villa Martin is saying nobody has a Premier League experience from the player I mentioned. They're still better than Lascelles. They're still better than Fernandes. Yeah. They're still better than Jamal Lewis. That's what I'm saying, But they need defenders. Like I said, they need defenders more than they need attackers, for sure.
Yeah, Mr. Tom said exactly that. Newcastle need defenders, and they'll buy attackers because they'll buy the attackers because they want the fans, like for the fans. It's something to me where yes, go ahead and get on me all you want, but I'm going to bring it back to my team, where we were saying, oh, Ben White look at how much you spent for him. We got Varane for this much, and he's won the Champions League, and he's won this and that.
Right.
Ask anyone who actually watched Varane. He's okay.
Struggling.
He gets lost. Yeah. And he's shown he struggles. And so to the people who saying none of these people have Premier League experience, Tomiyasu, Nuno Tavares.
Right.
They fucking destroyed it. And
even Jorginho, when he came.
And Jorginho. So, yes, there is a struggle that we allot for when you're coming to the Premier League, but it's not always the case. And I feel like a player like Ciro Immobile is not Timo Werner. Mm-hmm. Immobile's done it more on the international stage as well. So, and he may be. He won it 4 times, and so no, he didn't win it. His team won it. Mo Master, I forgot. Now I'm talking La Liga. He's going to correct me on everything. But if you ask Lawler what he thinks about Varane, and he'll tell you, he's like, I've never rated him. He's lazy. He's blah blah blah. I don't know enough about him.
Who?
And neither do I.
Lawler.
Who?
Lawler.
He's dead to this show.
Oh, he's dead to this show.
Hey, the only thing I could say, one more thing about Newcastle, they are in good hands with Eddie Howe. That's it.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Steve Bruce.
Yeah.
He's better than Steve Bruce, for sure.
Yeah, I think the losing and the struggles of a small club kind of got to Steve Bruce over time. And at the end, he was just like, someone put me out of my misery. Give Eddie Howe a couple of years, and I think he's going to be in the same boat. Because they're not. This is not the Saudis' choice. They're going to go after him.
Steve Bruce had zero money coming in ever.
Yeah.
So this is going to be Eddie Howe's going to get.
I totally agree.
Eddie Howe's going to get maybe 2 years.
I don't think he gets that long. I don't think he gets that long. He's a stopgap. Okay. If they sign some players in the off season, in the January window and in the summer window, I don't see Eddie Howe being around for much longer.
Yeah, I think I agree with all you guys saying that about Steve Bruce. Steve Bruce was not the problem. Steve Bruce helped them. But I think you're also right, Mark, where it starts to fucking wear on you. When like you kick off the season and your goal is to not die, like that's a shitty goal. Like it's shitty to do that year after year. Mm-hmm. Like at least that's why I was joking with a West Ham fan of mine, friend of mine, because now they're playing so bad. And I was like, but don't worry, you guys can always look back to the championship decade or years where you guys finished like top 6 twice the past 2 years. Like, yeah, man, the glory days of West Ham right there. But at least they woke up this Premier League morning of the season going, we have ambitions for top 4. Newcastle haven't had top 4 ambitions since they were winning the shit. Yeah. You know, like, so for someone like Steve Bruce, it's gotta be infuriating. Anyway, I want to move on from this because we can only talk about scum and cash for so long. But this brings me to, I'm going to jump over to quickly reference my most loathed team to get all this filth out of my mouth. But the 2 teams that I had mentioned that concern me and irk me because I don't know who they are. And I think they both started to show who they actually are this week. And that was Manchester United in this performance and Tottenham with their 3-0 thumping of Crystal Palace. And yes, Crystal Palace were down a man for half the match, but it seemed that Tottenham had a hold on the game. Do you guys think it's more impressive that Harry Kane is starting to get involved, or that Conte has seemingly plugged the net, kept goals from going in? What's more important?
I think there's a lot of things that are important that are going on with Spurs. One is that Harry Kane is starting to warm up finally, 2 goals in 2 games, but also him getting Son involved. Son's emergence, because Son hasn't exactly been ripping it up this season either. And then since they come back from that little COVID break, things are starting to click. And then also with Luka Moura, he looked dynamic in that match. Absolutely.
Look, this team right now with Moura, Harry Kane, and Son reminded me of Chelsea when they had Hazard, Diego Costa, and Willian. Yeah, and that's how they played. They have a way to go, especially that Conte just arrived. I mean, Conte usually likes to start training from the summer because he if you hear his interviews, he's like, we need to go to work. We need to work. He always mentioned the word work. So he just arrived right now. So they just started to warm up right now.
Yeah.
But they can now look at the top 4 and challenge to get there. And I think they're doing just that. I mean, they only conceded.
If they win their games in hand, they're solidly in 4th place.
7 goals.
They're right behind you guys. They could be breathing down your neck. If we look at the standings right now,
there's 6 points.
It looks like
they sweep their games in hand. They would be tied with Chelsea right now.
Yeah, there's 6 points away from Arsenal with 3 games in hands.
Yeah.
And they are
Mark, they would have 38
games unbeaten run. 7 games
unbeaten. It would be
run.
3 points. They would be 3 points ahead of Arsenal and 3 points behind
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
I'm sorry. I thought they were 4. I thought they were 4 games in hand, not 3. You're right.
He and then the connection between Emerson
What's up, Stan?
and Moura is deadly.
Yeah.
You know, they're both Brazilians, and they're doing great. It's reminding me of the Chelsea days at Conte, how he used to play with these 3 forwards. 7 games unbeaten. They only conceded 4 goals, but don't forget 2 against Liverpool. So they're solid defensively. And I told you guys weeks ago, they're gonna be they're gonna finish in the top 4.
Wow. So it's starting to heat up with this 4th, and I'm actually going to say it, with this 3rd, 4th, 5th place position, because Chelsea can talk all the shit they want, but we all know that 6 points is only 2 games, and we all play each other again. We all play each other one more time at least. All I'm saying is, Naji, you guys did not look great against Aston Villa. All right. Yes, you won, and that's what good teams do. They find ways to win, and you cause problems, and you have a fantastic penalty taker. We'll get to your game and talk about it. All I'm saying is, with Tottenham with some games in hand, Man United, even as bad as they are, they still have 2 games in hand that if they won those 2 would be 1 point behind Arsenal. So as shitty as they are playing, it's a tight race all in there. And if y'all don't step it up, Naji, you're gonna be in this conversation. I'm jokingly saying this now, but remember, like 3 weeks ago, you were like, "Look at us, 12 points ahead of you."
I know. We could do a show about Chelsea by itself for an hour, but we're not gonna go there. About the games that they have and the players they didn't have. So I'm not gonna go there. I'm just gonna take it game by game. I'm gonna just talk about Chelsea against Villa today when the time comes.
Yeah. Okay. So we gave a little bit of love to Tottenham. Excuse me.
Even Ben agrees with me.
And let's just take note that Crystal Palace were playing without Patrick Vieira, and Aston Villa were playing without Steven Gerrard. Which, imagine saying that when they were actually playing. I think that would matter more, because those 2 were so key. But
exactly.
I want to ask you guys a question, and not specifically about any match, but nowadays with all the Zoom calls and shit like that, like when my daughter can't go to school, we still have to do school virtually. Like, do you think they have why don't they have those roving segways with the iPads on it with Patrick Vieira going up and down, yelling at it? And do you think, are they on a Bluetooth call with their assistant, or is it like in the NFL where it's like, no, I need to call fucking games. Leave me alone. You put me in charge. I'm now calling the entire game, because it's not, I don't know. What do you guys think? Or do you know?
In the NFL, that's illegal. You
it's
can't,
illegal.
if you're not on the sidelines, you can't,
or upstairs,
or in the booth. If you're not physically, you're not allowed to phone in, because you could be, hiding behind the opponent's bench or whatever. As far as it is in the Premier League, I don't think that's allowed either. But I think you're wired in for the locker room at halftime.
Yeah, I think I heard it that Steven Gerrard was there on Zoom during the halftime.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Because this just kept making me think of Any Given Sunday with Al Pacino. And imagine if it was just the assistant holding up his cell phone, and it's like,
Yeah.
football is a game of inches. Or whatever the speech is, his famous like halftime speech that got him all riled up. But imagine he's like, all right, lads, come on, you're playing like a bunch of cunts. It was just something that I thought was interesting. I don't know what they're allowed to do. And it's not like he got a red card. Oh man. That's right. Ben went to is in Leeds, Arizona Leeds is actually in Leeds.
What a
gutted
drag.
about tomorrow's game. Still going to Ellen Road though for a walk around. Fantastic, man. Fantastic.
That's
yeah,
a drag,
print out
man.
one of the
You
stupid
fly
things.
like 8,000 miles to have a game called off, man. It's terrible.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Dog day afternoon.
But that red card, changed everything as well. That was stupid. What are you doing? You really wanted to enjoy New Year's because now you're not gonna play in the next game, and you're gonna be suspended.
Listen, Zaha was shocked he got the red card because you know what? He does that shit every week. Every week we're surprised that Zaha is still on the pitch.
And then you're a captain. You're a vice captain.
Yeah, I agree with Riddy. We can get rid of this. I don't like this on my side. John's gonna leave it now because I asked to.
Exactly.
He's gonna make it bigger, probably. He's
right.
finding
It's
a way
just
to
gonna
enlarge
sit
it.
over. It's just gonna sit over your face. I don't. I like.
Oh,
this is
it's your
something-
birthday, Ben. Happy birthday, Ben. It's his motherfucking birthday.
Well,
oh man.
Have a drink.
Yeah, tell
on
him you
us,
came from
man.
Arizona. They might play the match anyway. Anyway, Zaha finally got there. Oh. All right,
Yeah.
we're done. We're done with that team.
I mean, we've been seeing this coming for Zaha for a while now. We've been like, he's going to get a red. He's going to get a red. He finally got it, and it just, I don't think it made that much of a difference in the match. Spurs were already up 2-0.
Yeah.
And so
That's
at that
what I
point,
said.
it's just like, look, you guys weren't going to win, and he's like, fuck it, I'm going to the locker room. Here, watch this.
There's a lot of birthdays tomorrow, Mr. Tom.
Happy birthday, Mr.
Happy
Tom.
birthday.
All right, and it's my grandma's birthday as well.
Oh wow!
Today.
Okay.
Well, we think nobody knows when my grandma's birthday is because her driver's license says one thing, her birth certificate says another thing. They always celebrated it on a different day. So like nobody really knows. And it's like the family joke now that we laugh about. So for about a week, people just keep telling her happy birthday. Anyway, let's move on. And you guys, first of all, I just want to get back here and actually note Jimmy's super chat. Bremer's Ghost put in £5 to get me to gargle with tequila after saying those dirty words about those dirty Spurs. But so, and then we got a request for the next match that we should talk about, and that was from Lil Najee. Can we talk about the Chelsea game now? Sure, just go to your mom's purse and get her credit card and make yourself a Stoop Crew member, and we'll listen to you. Put in a super chat.
Take all that funny green pieces of paper and send it to On the Stoop.
No, why not? Let's go ahead and talk about it so we can reference it the rest of the time because we have been talking about it. Aston Villa lost to Chelsea at home by the tune of 1-3 without Stevie G on the sidelines. And I gotta say, I was looking for a bit more. I was looking for a bit more from Aston Villa. I thought the way Chelsea was playing and with that opening goal that was a sort of clearance by Reece James that went into the back of his own net. Look, the guy's solid. He doesn't make mistakes like that. And he's just trying to clear it. And the cross came in so hot.
Yeah,
and
it did.
What sucks, I think it sucks to have an own goal, but what also sucks even more is that there was no one in the box. There was no Villa player. The cross was to nobody.
Yeah.
It was a great cross. Great pace.
I thought about
There was so much heat on that ball, though. I actually thought
no
that
There were
it
no
came
Villa
in so
players in the box.
fast that I didn't even see it glance off of Reece James. when I'm watching.
Yeah, so it looked like a shot almost, but
Yeah.
he just jumped and it skimmed off his head and curled. And I think it surprised everybody, including Mendy, who moved late and then was like, "Oh fuck!"
You know, Mendy should have used only one hand instead of two hands. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
I think it came so hot. Nobody's expecting that. Like, I'm sorry. It was somewhat similar to the Masuaku, which was like a cross. Wait, what the? What the fuck just happened? How did that go in?
We're conceding so many strange goals. Like, I'm gonna lose my head one day. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we all know Mendy's class. Mendy's a class keeper. I don't
remember
him.
I don't remember a big Villa chance in this game. I don't. I just can't remember one.
You know, it looked as though Watkins was almost afraid to get into the box. And then Danny Ings, there was no connection with Danny Ings.
There was a lot of
that's what I was saying.
He's not having a very good time at Villa. Villa only had one shot on goal, and it was probably the one that ricocheted off of James's head.
That wasn't a shot on goal either.
No,
it's not. It doesn't classify as a shot on goal. No, that's why it's an own goal. Had it been on target, it would have been just a goal.
Oh, sure, yeah, that makes sense.
So,
but if I want to talk a little bit about the game, first of all, it was a tale of two halves. And looking at the player selection from Tuchel before the game started, I was very worried because we drew 1-1 with Everton with the same player selection, and then we drew 0-0 against Wolves. We couldn't create anything. We were flat in the first half and offered nothing, to be honest, you know. And then I was begging for him to play Lukaku, and I knew afterwards that he wasn't ready to play 90 minutes. He was only ready to play 30 minutes, but he played him. But Lukaku changed everything. He was fighting for every ball. He won us the penalty. He bullied Ming to score the goal. And I don't know if you guys remember, he was playing with his back against the goal. He gave he was holding the ball, gave it to Kovacic. Kovacic laid it down to Hudson-Odoi. He was one-on-one with the keeper basically, and Martinez did a great save. I don't know if you guys remember that one. So he was involved with everything Chelsea did in the second half, and he was great, to be honest. You know, I lost my voice in that game. My blood pressure went up. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was, and I have to say, testament to Thomas Tuchel, who made the change, and actually went, brought Lukaku in. I think everyone was right there with you of like, wait a minute, if Lukaku can be on the bench, why are you playing Pulisic as your striker? And just quickly to answer, it was I think Mo Master asked, because he finally watched some Premier League because there was no La Liga because they're Catholic. All these games played at the same hour. How the hell did you watch all the games? I only watched Arsenal. Well, I'll show you. I just uploaded that photo, Director John, if you want to toss that on there. This is how I watched it. I had 3 screens going, and then I'm flipping back and forth between tabs on my laptop there. It looks like I got West Ham down here, and then I had City Leicester on the laptop, and I had Arsenal up top. And I think I had City Leicester down here, and then the Tottenham volume on my laptop. So I can see these two. I have Tottenham volume and then Arsenal with the volume on.
That was impressive.
Yeah. So yeah, my nails get done. My nails get done so I can have all the screens for 2 hours.
The worst thing, help me, I can't touch the screens.
And she's like, can we watch something? I was like, sorry, I can't change it right now. You painted my fingers.
And the worst thing that happened, with all the COVID players, with all the injury, I don't know why Chalobah maybe got substituted because he wanted to bring in Lukaku, but we lost Kante in the second half. And who did we lose also? We lose another player.
Silva.
We lost Thiago. I don't think for a long time, but we lost Thiago as well, and we have a game after tomorrow, so it's gonna be tough again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
real tough.
I think overall, I feel
multi-million-dollar teammates.
Don't get started
as your C team. Oh yeah, we were playing with our B teams. We brought in Mason Mount.
Hudson-Odoi shouldn't have played 90 minutes. Apparently, that's what Tuchel said. He just came back from COVID, but Hudson-Odoi, it was a man of the match game too. He played really well. I was so happy with him.
Now, according to Tuchel, you should never play unless you're in absolute top form.
And back to Ben, I mean, that was a freaking goal to concede. To be honest with you, again, it was like Masuaku all over again. We played a very solid game defensively.
Yeah, you did. You did because Watkins, who has been turning it on, you guys had him, like I said, he looked afraid to go in the box. He was outside of the box. Anything he was doing was off to the sides. And then Danny Ings, either way, you guys didn't look your top form.
Yeah.
I'll say.
No, we didn't.
Didn't look your top form. Yeah. It was a scrappy win.
Yeah.
But that's what good teams do. Because Villa is getting better. You said it's a tale of two halves. To me, is that a testament for Gerrard not being in the locker room, being a huge difference? Does Gerrard turn it around?
No, I mean McGinn wasn't playing as well.
Huh?
McGinn wasn't playing as well.
Yeah.
And Mings makes a lot of silly mistakes. He's solid. Yeah. He's the captain, but he makes a lot of silly mistakes. I don't know if you guys remember last week when that penalty that he gave away. You can't do mistakes like that. And then the Lukaku goal is on him. Lukaku is smart. He knows he could do that. But
Mings was
terrible.
You should clear it. You should be holding Lukaku. He was a step ahead of you.
Yeah. So Naji, Mo Master's asking why Ziyech doesn't play more.
Hey, at this point right now, I don't know who's fit. I don't know who's not fit. Whatever I see. Yeah. But Ziyech need to show me more. I mean, he needs to show me. As a Chelsea fan, he needs to show me more. I'm comparing him to Pepe right now for Arsenal. He is a very skillful player, but he needs to show me he's more aggressive.
Didn't he get a lot of time under Fat Frank?
He did.
Didn't he get a lot of playing time with Lampard?
He played a lot under Lampard.
Yeah, I mean, he was like the new jewelry, when they bought him.
Guys, we got to move on from this match. Naji, well done, firmly in third place. Naji, we've talked about 3 matches. We're 40 minutes in.
There were only 5
thing we only have 6.
What else do you have to say?
I'm done.
All I have to say is this: is that I really felt that the refs didn't need to get involved.
No,
give 2 more penalties to Chelsea because they would have beaten Villa on their own.
Listen, Mark, I don't like that statement though, because you're putting that in the refs' hands. Those were 2 clear penalties,
guys. One more last thing:
penalties have to be called. Penalties have to be called.
Well, you guys have to admit, if you're a top club, they definitely get called.
You guys have to admit, Jorginho is ice cold from the penalty spot. It's Martinez. We're talking about Martinez. We're talking about Martinez here, and he was trying to do his usual stuff. He got a yellow card for it, but man, oh man, Jorginho is ice cold from the penalty spot.
I have to say, anytime you make 2 penalties in a game against the same keeper, you even saw for City, they got 2 penalties. They had 2 different penalty takers because it's exponentially more difficult the second time because they've already seen you.
Right.
And so either way, Mark, I hear what you're saying, and I hate all the penalties that are given and not given and all this. I just don't think this is one where we can.
It's
like,
it's 4 penalties for Chelsea in 3 games.
Yeah, but they were.
It's just ridiculous, penalties. I don't think so. But hey, man,
they're penalties. They're
okay. Sure, fine. But what's happening is they're not being called consistently across the board. We're seeing that sort of play everywhere. And it gets called, oh, yeah, well, it's Chelsea. We'll go ahead and give them that. It's Man City. We'll go ahead and give them that.
The day
I think the Man City one, the first one that they debated forever, that one has been happening nonstop. Odegaard has done it multiple times. Like, we've gotten away with it. They're letting people.
How many times in the box have you seen Harry Maguire throw someone to the ground like that?
That one all the time. That one was fucking weird.
This just looked like they just got awkwardly tangled.
The Rudiger one with Leeds, you could complain a little bit more.
That one, yeah, it was.
But
soft.
The ones this week were,
it was
lazy, this week. I mean,
look,
let's just move on.
They got lucky. They didn't want to do double jeopardy and red card the motherfucker on the last one. Like it was Lukaku 1-on-1 with the keeper, and he's like, no.
With penalty, there is a rule with penalties. If you don't see the defender complaining and just putting his head on the ground and shaking, it's a penalty. That's it.
Yeah.
And both, I think it was Cash and Konsa, they didn't even complain about it.
No, they knew.
One on Konsa, sure. Yeah, one on Konsa, sure.
So let's go. Let's go with Norwich Arsenal. Arsenal came out, and once again, y'all can talk whatever shit you want about. Oh, it's Norwich. My boys looked good. They looked hungry. They fought. They were fast. And I feel like we possibly have learned from our mistake against Everton, which was you score one goal, go get fucking 3 now. Don't score one and sit back and think the game's over. And immediately after Saka scored the first goal in like the 7th minute or something like that, it looked like nothing had it looked like we hadn't scored. The way they came right back out, like, okay, come on. And all the way to the end with Emile Smith-Rowe coming on, it's almost like a game now where Emile Smith-Rowe comes on and he's like, how much time are you going to give me? 12 minutes? Got it. Let's go. And he should have had an assist to Lacazette, but Lacazette turned and got the penalty. So it was a beautiful pass by Emile Smith-Rowe. Either way, they looked hungry. They looked fierce. Saka looks like the Saka we had started to see last season, towards the end of last season, and for England a little bit. Gabriel Martinelli. I complain about his work off the ball too much, and that he falls and he's a little bit of a bitch. And all he can do is score. That he's a good finisher, but I have to say the first goal and the Tierney goal, Martinelli's playing on the left. He tackles somebody at the middle of the pitch on the right side, on the edge of the pitch. A tackle, passes it forward, creates that from the other side to the point where Tierney's like, oh shit, there's nobody where Martinelli should be. And he catches up and goes and he gets a little lucky with that goal. You could tell it was almost off, but he got it in there. And I feel you, Macronomical, saying don't get too giddy. We have Man City on New Year's Day.
Even if they lost against City, that's not going to mean anything. Who doesn't lose against City?
Well, I mean, I think that, the City competition is going to be another grading spot, another litmus test on where you guys are in the league. Yeah. Because you guys are ripping it up right now. In all competitions, you got something like 19 goals.
In the last 5 matches, 19 goals 19 to 2 goals against.
Yeah, 19 goals.
And so yes, I hear you guys.
19 goals in these games. You guys are playing very well. City is going to be definitely a test for you. But I'd like to add, you've done this without Aubameyang, and I think that this is going to be that's it. He's done.
Look,
there's no way you fit him back in.
You have if I'm playing City, I'll just sit back and play on the counter. Like there is no way you could win City playing the way they play. Otherwise, they're gonna score 4. So if you're thinking like, okay, yeah, we better match them, we better attack them. Oh, forget about it then.
No. It's saying we're gonna play their
11
game.
players
No,
are going to be behind the ball in this game for Arsenal if they were going to get a result. You could win any game, but it's how you play this game, you know?
Yeah.
You guys are playing some ridiculous attacking football right now. It's fantastic to watch.
Yeah. And I'm not sure how long Smith Rowe is going to accept that role for Arsenal, to be honest with you. I mean, this guy want to play.
I don't know.
It's working.
It's like I've been saying.
It's
like
working,
I've
but
been
this guy
saying
wanna
for a
play.
long time. Something that we don't know is going on behind the scenes there, and Arteta has a lot more pull than anybody believes he has, except for me. I've been saying it, but I think he's very clearly discussed with Odegaard and Emil Smith Rowe their roles here, and the fact that it's not a either or. The last couple times he's come on, he hasn't come on for Odegaard. So he's come on for somebody else. So I don't know. I feel like they have that worked out. Let me just get back to this.
It's an embarrassment of riches.
So we lose our first 3 games. Then we go on a 10-game unbeaten streak, which started with a 1-0 win against Norwich, then 1-0 against Burnley. That 10-game streak, the results were there, but the playing was, which led to the Man United loss, the Everton loss. But things were starting, and I think maybe it was getting Aubameyang out of the picture because they all seem totally fine with it.
Yeah.
So the way they're playing, this could have been our 5th consecutive match in the league playing the exact same starting 11, except Tomiyasu was out with COVID. So we started Rob Holding, moved Ben White to right back. But that's some consistency. And to me, it's the way we're playing. Even if we won this 1-0, it's still the teamwork, the passing, the slow, the calmness. When it's getting a little crazy and like, oh shit, we're getting backed up, it's still a little pass, we're out. As opposed to, oh shit.
I think you guys I think your team moves a lot quicker without Aubameyang.
Yeah.
The movement, the flow is just it's there, and it's very, very quick, and it's very, very deadly.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're waiting for Aubameyang to come up the pitch, you know, that you're holding play, waiting for him because, you know, his demands or whatever, you know, but you guys move the fluidity on the pitch and the speed in which you're moving is, you know, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah. There is 2 things about Arsenal. The question for Arsenal before was like, can they beat the Norwiches? Can they beat, Newcastle? Can they beat Burnley? These are the teams that they struggled to beat in the past, and now they're beating them.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing for Arsenal right now. And the second thing is they are only playing 1 game a week, so they could keep they're staying healthy, and they could keep the formation. The 11 players that have started the last few games is exactly the same. So and Ramsdale have been doing great. He saved them in a lot of games. I mean, the only game I think you guys lost badly against Everton and Man United, if I'm not mistaken. And that Man United game, you know, could have ended as a draw as well, you know?
Yeah. So the match tomorrow against Wolves, which I was looking forward to, is being postponed because of COVID.
How many Wolves players have COVID?
I have no idea.
They're not really releasing that. It doesn't seem, unless it's game day and we're
Why
playing.
only Chelsea is releasing that?
No,
we found out there were 3 players for Arsenal that had COVID, but we didn't find out until game time. And they're like, Tomiyasu is out, Cedric is out with COVID, and somebody else, Maitland-Niles maybe. But
the thing is, though, is what they're doing is they're lumping COVID with injuries, and that's the big thing, you know. So it's not just COVID That is exactly. They're trying not to shame him. So it's not just COVID as a reason to cancel a match. It's more whether or not you can feel the team. And maybe that's like some sort of legal foothold because as Riddy just pointed out, Wolves have more injuries than COVID, and that's the truth.
But here's the thing. Your match will not be postponed if you don't have enough players due to injuries. You need at least one COVID case. Ask Leeds United.
Yeah. I'm definitely sure that is the case. I'm sure that is the case.
They had no COVID. So they went out and licked fucking park benches over the weekend.
Sure. That's
to get their match postponed. But let me just go on to Manchester City saying this is not a free hit as everybody's been referring to, like they were saying with the Arsenal versus Liverpool one. This is a match that Mikel Arteta is gonna want to win, and I think it may be potentially the reason we lose is because we will go at them. I kind of know we will, Najee. The way we're playing, it's like, you know what? We're in form. You're in form. Let's do it. And seeing how Leicester was able to get some goals off of them, as bad as Leicester are, yes, they didn't get them until they were already down 4-0. There's that. But I feel like this is more about the pressure is going to be on Man City to beat us more than the pressure is for us to get a result. Yes, we're going to want a result. Yes, we're going to feel like we can beat anybody right now. However, that team is a fucking pain in the ass, Man City right now. So we'll see. We'll see how Arsenal does, and it'll be a hell of a start to the new year if we can find a way to win. And I guarantee you, Liverpool's going to be rooting for us. Chelsea's going to be rooting for us.
Yeah, but Chelsea have the toughest schedule. I mean, we play Brighton, and then we play City, Arsenal, and then Spurs back to back.
Yep. So let's move on to this Man City.
Everybody goes through those runs, Najee.
I know. No, we play, I remember at the beginning.
But it's when you do it. It's when you do it.
I mean, look at what the Wolves had to do. We had to play Liverpool, City, and you guys of course. In 4 weeks.
That's true.
That wasn't even a pretty schedule.
Leeds United had the toughest schedule in December. Oh my! They had like the top 5 teams back to back every week. But and I don't know if you guys read, but there is 15 dates that are open. 15 dates that are open for next year to play all these games. Like I think it's 19 to 20 games now postponed.
Yeah, it's 19. Yeah.
There's like 20 open days midweek to play these games.
It's 20 matches that have been postponed, but 19 due to COVID because one was the weather, Burnley and Spurs.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let's talk about Man City, Leicester City. This is our final match of the weekend that we will talk about. Is it? Did we hit all of them? Oh, no, Brighton, Brentford, we should have mentioned. And West Ham, Southampton, we didn't even get to those. So let's burn through these. Man City puts up 4 in a heartbeat and then lets Leicester kind of get back into it, but then quickly puts them back out. What are we reading into this, guys?
The match was super crazy. No, it just shows that Leicester can put something together. What I loved was City was up 4-0. Leicester scores, and the crowd chants, "We're still going to beat you by 4." And they almost score at the end of stoppage time. The stadium would have exploded.
I mean, just one thing. I just don't want to hear anymore that City needs a striker. This should stop right now because De Bruyne playing as a false 9. I mean, they get goals from anywhere. And I'm not sure. I think they're going to get Haaland next year. But
no.
What?
No.
They don't. Why?
Why? Because he's going to only cost you 70 million.
only.
But what you just said, they don't need a striker.
I have
think
recently
they will
read
get a
that
striker
he
next
doesn't
year.
want to come to the Premier League.
No,
Yeah.
Haaland, his father played for Man City before.
I know who his
So-
father is and who he played for, but
You know-
I have read that he has no desire to play in the
Look,
Premier League.
So if Haaland doesn't care about titles, then stay at Dortmund. He's not going to Chelsea. I don't think he's going to United. I think he's going to City. I think so. You know, and they would have scored 12 goals in this game if Haaland was playing.
I don't know though, because Najee, what you just said is they prove that they don't need a striker. So, why bring in a striker and have to retool the entire system?
Yeah.
Can we just agree that maybe Pep Guardiola knows a bit more about football than most of these fucking people in the world who talk about football, us included?
He's just not like any day striker. I mean, he is so good.
Yes, but if you bring him into your team, a team like that, everything's got to change.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you don't have 4 midfielders who have all the freedom in the world.
Yeah.
Because
something
they
has
have
to
play
change.
back a little bit. It's
Something
like
has to change.
when Chelsea goes in, brings in all their attackers. All of a sudden, Reece James doesn't know what to do.
Right.
Alonso's like, should I go up? And that's when you guys look a little like, oh, what's going on? This is weird. It's better when you just have the 1 point man and all your midfielders and your defenders get to do whatever they want. We'll see you, Riddy. Thank you for coming in, man. I
don't think Madrid is gonna replace Benzema with Haaland that easily, you know. And Vinicius Jr. is a star right now in the making.
Yeah.
For Madrid.
Yeah.
But they were sloppy defensively for sure. Man City. I mean, Diaz and the best defensive team in the league. They conceded 3 goals like that. And Diaz is solid and Laporte is solid, but man, Inacio was like really having fun in this game.
Yeah. But listen, we said this before the match. I said Manchester City is less interested in clean sheets. Their defenders are less interested in clean sheets and more interested in like, oh, how do I get on the score sheet?
Right.
Because Cancelo with an assist, Diaz with a header, Laporte with a header, a goal. I think they both got on the score sheet.
Yes, they did.
So I mean, like, yes, they got 6 goals, so a lot of people are getting them, but they were up 4-0. The only reason they cared, I don't think they cared until that 3rd goal went in, and they're like, oh shit, hey guys, let's score another one. Bring the defenders back in here. Like, what? Anyway, we got 2 minutes left to burn through these last 3 matches. So let's go to, here we go. Brighton and Hove Albion actually came out and played some attacking football against Brentford. I started Ivan Toney thinking I was very smart. Brentford are bad. Brentford are bad.
Yeah.
I said it. Brentford are bad.
Yeah.
Because Brighton are bad. And they look fantastic. So,
Brighton are mid-table. You know, they're a little bit above mid-table right now. They have some good players. They have, I mean, Trossard is a really good player, good playmaker.
I like him a lot.
Bissouma, Lamptey, they have some solid center backs, Dunk and who's the other guy? I forgot. But they have some really good players. Lallana comes off the bench sometimes. Welbeck is back. Your favorite striker, Lolo.
oh, thank God, everybody. Danny Welbeck is back. Danny Welbeck is here to save the day.
Isn't he like 60 years old? I have no idea.
Welbeck is skillful. He scored one of the nicest goals last year in the Premier League.
Yeah, no. Danny Welbeck is class until he gets hurt, which is usually about 80 minutes of playing time.
He's made like Wilshere.
So yeah. When we had him and Jack Wilshere, it was like they can't play.
Yeah.
Don't put them next to each other. The static electricity,
guys,
knock one of them over.
West Ham is done. No more top 4 talking for West Ham. No more.
That's not
I think
fair.
you're right.
You
I was watching
that.
I was watching that and going, "Fuck." I think that's true, Najee.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
the injuries are starting to catch up to them.
Understand how they beat us.
The Desmond Tutu. Yeah, it's crazy. Southampton.
Another Chelsea Loney.
Southampton played the way that we know they can play. They scored some goals. They have some good set pieces. They got a penalty. They scored 3 goals. They never really score more than 2 goals. But West Ham were
scoring has been an issue for them all season.
So I don't know. I'm right there with you, Via Martin.
True, Ben, yeah.
7-10 finish would be is where West Ham is going to live. They're
right.
back
That's
down
true.
to reality.
I agree with Villa Martin on that one too.
Yeah, back down to reality there.
Yeah, I agree with them
and they'll be battling with Southampton for a place.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for today's show. That was it, right? That was the last. That was the last one. Okay, so just a quick look at tomorrow's matches. We have Southampton, Tottenham, Watford, West Ham, Palace, Norwich, Leicester, Liverpool. So Leicester, Liverpool looks good. Chelsea, Brighton. We'll see how good Brighton is coming off their win.
We need a good draw by Leicester City tomorrow. A goal by Vardy if he plays.
And just a little something for you guys to think about in the fantasy league. Everton, Newcastle. Could we be seeing the return of Dominic Calvert-Lewin? He's healthy. He doesn't have a tag on him. Would you start him in fantasy against Newcastle? Everyone else besides Man United has been able to put up like 50 goals. I don't know. It may be a secret hat trick coming in.
I don't think so.
I don't think so neither.
He's got just too much time off. Time off.
That's true. That's true.
All right, guys.
Let's see what he does before we throw him on a team.
No, and then it's too late, and then he doesn't do anything the rest of the season. All right,
then
guys.
What's the fucking point?
So that's it for us for today, guys. We will see you guys Thursday, I think, is the next time we will see you for another late night show after the last match of the midweek matches on Thursday, and then back for a normal Friday happy hour. It's New Year's Eve. We're going to have to figure out what to do for happy hour. Okay. But we will see you guys. Thank you all so much for joining us. Don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe, and all that. Thank you, Director John, for all your help. And Najee, Mark, later, bitches.